talk about the new guy you got there, Andreas?
I'd love to talk about the new guy we got here. Finally, we get to talk about something positive and fun. So, Andreas Ivanschitz, really good player, good pedigree, played in really good leagues, Bundesliga, La Liga, his last 2 stints. It's a player that Chris Henderson and the guys here have tracked for a number of years and we're very familiar with. I believe that they made a play at him earlier in his career. I'm not sure how long ago. But was available now at a value price, and we stepped in and took it. A couple of things that augur well for him, we believe, in terms of transition. We've talked about our skepticism about midseason acquisitions, but Andreas' English is perfect. He's lived in a number of countries, in Greece, played in Spain, where he's outside his comfort zone, outside of his home country, and he's a guy that we think is going to adapt very, very well. And coming from the level he was playing at, we have no doubt about his footballing ability. So we're really excited.
Is there any concern with how old he is coming here? How many years you could possibly get out of him? Or
no, he's younger than our current strikers, and look, the group. I understand the question, Michelle, and in general, do we want to make the group younger? I suppose, yeah. But we also want to win the title, and this is a guy that we think is going to help us win the title. And if at 33 or 34 he can't do the business anymore, fair enough. We're getting him at 31, and hopefully we get a couple good years out of him. And he's highly motivated to come here. Certainly could have made more money to stay in Europe, and those are the kind of hungry guys that we like. And I think if you have that kind of heart, sometimes it can make up for some weary legs.
Would it be fair to categorize this as sort of a win-now move then in that case?
I mean, yeah, if you sign a 31-year-old versus a 21-year-old, I suppose you're banking on him playing now. No, look, we're signing them to compete for starting minutes right away. He's been training on his own. He hasn't played a match, obviously, in I think 6 or 8 weeks. So I think it's unreasonable to think he's going to play right away. So that's why I'm careful to say he'll be competing for starting minutes. But we haven't had the production we need from midfield, and I think he's going to really help us.
what's the timeline for getting him here and kind of getting him ready to take game minutes?
We are hopeful that he will physically be in the United States this week. He's going through the visa process right now, and that's stuff that we don't control. And so it's possible he'll be here before the LA game, but it's also possible he won't.
This is not a DP signing?
Not a DP.
Are you still looking at other acquisitions? I know you can't divulge it, but are you still open to other?
Window's open for 2 more days, so we better be.
Where do you see him slotting in positionally for you guys?
He's a midfielder, attacking midfielder. So he's left-footed. I think he can play more likely for us one of the 2 wider midfield spots based on how he's lined up abroad. But again, we'll get him in with the group. We'll see how it goes. And certainly he's capable of playing in the middle. He's technical enough. He's skillful enough. I think that might be Eric Freeberg's best role based on what we've seen so far from him. So again, it's about getting the pieces in and fitting them together.
Was this acquisition as a result of the results from the last month, or was this kind of always the thought this season that we want to go after a top midfielder like that?
It's both. I mean, we always react to what we see on the field, and you have to tweak your plan as you go. And certainly, we haven't performed in the last 6 weeks, so need to acknowledge that. I still think that what I said a month ago is true, which is that the only guys that are going to get us out of it are the guys that are here. We're talking about adding a very, very good player in Andreas, and then caveating it with things like, and he hasn't played in 2 months, so. We have 8 games in August, 7 more left. We need the guys here to perform, and this isn't, we need to improve our team at the same time. So, it's a little bit of both. I would say that we're long term. I actually think, to your comment, Matt, I think Andreas can play a number of years yet. He's a super fit guy. He's got a body type that can run. If you look at his output, his data output, in terms of his physical performance in the Bundesliga and in La Liga, it's very good. And so I do think he's a guy that can be with us for a couple of years. So I don't think it's just a win now or just for this summer trying to win. But are we trying to win? Yeah, you better believe we're trying to win.
Talking skill set, not fitness, but
Yep.
If he would have been here last month, would he have been a candidate to slide forward to 2 forward?
So can he play up top, in other words? I don't think that's his best position. That's not why we're signing him. We're signing him. We think we need a little bit more creativity in our midfield. We need a little bit more chance creation. Specifically, he hits a lot of the dead balls for the teams that he's played on. We've scored, I think, 3 goals all year on set pieces. It's not good enough. So we have to have somebody that can strike a better ball, both from corner kicks and from set pieces, and we believe he can provide that in addition to a little bit more creative spark. Where have we fallen down in the last month? The defense before last week has been pretty good. We haven't generated chances. We haven't been dangerous. We haven't been able to push forward in numbers in midfield. I think Andreas helps us with all those things.
Has he ever been out before to either try out or work out with the team here in Seattle?
Not to my knowledge. The only reason I hesitate a little bit, Michelle, is I don't know the whole history of their pursuit of him, but of Seattle's pursuit, our pursuit, I guess now, of him. But to my knowledge, no. I mean, certainly not since I've been here.
How did you connect with him? How did he kind of land on your radar?
Chris Henderson and the guys here in the scouting department have been scouting him for a while. I mean, he's been tracked for at least 2 years, and I know that they've had conversations with him in the past. I don't know all the details of those conversations, but he's certainly somebody that has been on our list since the beginning.
With this box checked, what position kind of moves to the top of your to-do list?
I think I'd still ideally like to add an attacking player. We've had a dearth of chances, we had a dearth of goals. So those are the two things that we're trying to tackle. Whether that proves possible or not, we'll see.
Does the Marco Papa situation have any bearing on this signing, and is Marco still in your guys' plans, so you're looking forward for the rest of the year?
Marco's taking care of Marco, and we support him. He's part of our family, and he's got to take care of himself and his family, and when he's better, then we'll address that situation.
Can you say whether any of the targeted allocation money was used as part of Andreas' deal?
No, targeted allocation money, and I don't think I've talked to you guys a bunch about this, but it's been, I think, somewhat blown out of proportion a little bit in some of the media reports that I read. TAM is just, it's all it does is update the DP rule. The DP rule says, hey, guys make over $500,000 are DPs. What TAM does is basically say, look, it's really guys over $1 million. And if you got guys that are sitting on your roster or you want to bring in between 500 and $1 million, we'll let you call them these TAM guys, and you can use this special pot of money to buy them down so it looks neat, nice and neat from a cap perspective. So no, this is not a TAM player, and it's not a DP.
So who's spot on the roster are we going to take?
We have 2 guys on the disabled list right now, and he'll slot into one of those spots. So we still have one open.
Craven and Correa, correct?
Yep, that's right.
How do you properly pronounce his last name?
Wow, you're going to call me on this. It is pronounced as it phonetically appears to be pronounced. How about that?
That's a great answer.
All right. My wife asked me that last night too, and I said, no, it's what it looks like. It's to a German sensibility, very common, and to an American one, we'll get the titters out of the way now for you and me both, and hopefully call him Andreas going forward.
Perfect. You'll let me mutilate it on TV.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can. We'll give you a little pronunciation guide, maybe with some emoticons or something like that, little pictures, just in case you miss anything. Sorry.
Do you expect your current 3 DPs to be your only DPs when the roster freezes?
These are artfully phrased questions, Don. Wait. We're trying to get to the points here. The transfer window is open for 2 more days, and if we're able to add an asset, we will. And I think every possibility is an option.